Hello, my name is Ali Salahuddin, and I'll be presenting the prevention section of the Health Awareness Project, and our project is on nutrition and healthy eating. All right, so prevention. Just kind of give a little background. College students are very vulnerable to eating disorders because of all the stress and the new pressures that come with the college environment, including, academic deadlines and social pressure, things of that nature. That's going to, that gives a really good environment for you to have a lot of possible eating disorders. So you have things like, obesity, binge eating, bulimia, anorexia nervosa. These are very common eating disorders that are the result of, either poor upbringing or stressful situations. And another big part of that is, another big part of the healthy eating is actually the preparation stage where, just in how the food is prepared or dealt with, and even individuals washing their hands and such. About 1 to 6 people in the United States get foodborne illnesses, and Healthy People 2030 focuses on preventing those foodborne illnesses. And with these foodborne illnesses, they actually can, end up causing more eating disorders in the future. So at least for our next slide here, we have some ways that have been identified to prevent the rising eating disorder crisis that we have. So you have intervention strategies, which I have a whole another slide that's based all on just the intervention strategies. The big thing is spreading awareness. Make sure that you're letting the people around you and their communities know about these issues, and that they're something that is common people can talk about. Because a lot of times people will either, feel the social pressure where they can't really talk about it, or it's hard for them to, speak about it to either family, friends, and things like that. Or even if you see someone with the issue, just bringing it up can have some tension there. So that brings me to my next prevention strategy, which is, supported coaching and counseling programs, especially to be done at the schools. I know at least at Bradley, they have, the mental health center, and they also have, the health area at Markin, and at the Markin Recreation Center, and also the academic support center. All of them are places that you can go and talk about these issues, and they can help you out at Bradley. So, yes, I know at least Bradley as an institution has been making strides. But, just making this another big prevention strategy that you can use to spread awareness. And then also, if you do have any of those disorders, you can find a way to get help. And that in tandem with having, the awareness and people talking about it, more communication, it just makes it easier for people to approach it. Because, the first big step is to acknowledge it and make a step first, then everything else will fall into place. Another thing is we've had activity monitor interventions, which are, devices that will help you, get a reading on your activity, your body weight, your overall health, and the things that you consume, and how that's, really affecting your body. And that brings me back to my other point about, the foodborne illnesses, that if you are, if your food is being handled in a way that is going to cause you to have more sicknesses and issues, you're going to, possibly have higher risk of health issues because of the food you're eating. And the last thing on here is, combined strategies. So any combination or avenues of using these connections to make anything that fits the best for you, or things that you think would help other people, just make sure that you're communicating that. And then we're going to go back to my interventions. So the interventions that I did find in the research here I organized them in the things you should increase and the things you should decrease. So the nutritional interventions for the increase list, we have increasing vegetable consumption, age 2 years and older. I did want to emphasize this, that a lot of these eating habits and disorders will come from the the way that the children are raised at the very early intervention time in the developmental stages. So if you're able to, alter their diet at a young age, especially, when they're first starting to eat food, that 2, 3, 4, 5, that younger developmental stage, that is the best place to start, because then that will, potentiate on for the rest of their lives. So, you have increasing vegetable consumption by 2-year-olds and up, increase, vegetable consumption of red, orange, and green. What else we got in here? We have whole grain consumption also needs to be increased. Calcium consumption, potassium, and vitamin D. These are all, these calcium and potassium are really heavily used in your brain for you to have, higher brain function, synapses, your neurons and things like that, connectivity, and even just like the way that the neuron action potential moves along and grows is very heavy on your brain. Uses a lot of calcium, potassium, and sodium. And that brings me to my decrease list now, which is to reduce consumption of sugars. We have a lot of issues with sugar, saturated fat, sodium, and overall it's been a increase also in iron deficiency in children. So we're trying to reduce iron deficiency and also reduce iron deficiency specifically in females aged between 12 and 49 years old. That is the end of my section, and I guess we'll move on next to recovery. All right, thank you.